So welcome back to Heretic Wargaming. So today we have a special guest on the page, Joe. Hi, Joe.
How you doing, guys?
And we're from John's wonderful garage. He set us up a table out here with a space heater, so it's pretty neat. Too many people inside the house, so. But he brought his Necrons, so yay, we don't see Necrons very often, right? So it's going to be pretty awesome. And I brought my Nurgle. So we are playing ITC, so we are using the new 2019 beta draft. We are playing Scenario 6. So, yeah, Joe won the roll off for deployment. He chose Hammer and Anvil. He will be deploying on this side. I'll be deploying on that side, so I get to deploy my whole army first. So for the secondaries, Joe took Reaper, Headhunter, and Butcher's Bill. And I took Titan Slayer, King Slayer, and Old School. So, be pretty neat. So, we'll go over what armies we brought. You can talk. And thumbs down. Yeah.
John's still here.
John is still here. This is my editing part. So,
all
right. Okay. So, Joe, what'd you bring us?
I brought 2 Tesseract Vaults.
Oh, yeah. So 2 super heavy.
Yeah, super heavy.
Yeah.
I brought fast attacks are my race.
So we got the raids right there.
Then I got the what would I call that? Not Vanguard. I can't think of what.
Patrol.
Patrol, yeah.
Yeah, patrol. Yep.
Patrol detachment, and then I got the 2 with the uniques. Is it HQs?
They're elites. I think.
Yeah,
they're elites. Yeah.
2 elites with the Catan Deceiver and a Catan Nightbringer, and then I have a Cryptek.
Yep.
That's my warlord.
And what dynasty did you pick?
Mifrit.
So yeah, so he had a patrol detachment here and 2 super heavy auxiliaries. So he starts with 3 CP. We talked about this a lot before the game. I was actually surprised. But like I said, I don't get to play Necrons very often, so this is a treat for me. So yeah, so 2,000 points, and we'll go over to the demons. So this list will look familiar if you've watched all my battle reports. I did just recently run this one against Eldar. So it is my demons with 1,000 Suns. Yeah, it's a 1,000 Suns Supreme detachment and a Spearhead of Death Guard. So we'll start over here. This is my Spearhead of Death Guard. It's got 3 Plaguebearers crawlers with the flamers and mortars. The lighting is kind of weird from this light here. And sluggers, I've got the Demon Prince of Nurgle, who has Suppurating Plate and Revoltingly Resilient, or, yeah, Arch Contaminator. A total of 58 Plaguebearers, with just the banner, the icons to bring guys back, and 10 Brimstone Horrors, and the HQs, there was a Demon Prince of Khorne with the Skull Reaver Axes, don't need to paint it, a Poxbringer, and a Scrivener. So that's my battalion. And then, oh sorry, I did have 2 Foul Blightspawn over here with the 1,000 Suns. And then I have my Supreme Command detachment here, and it is a Demon Prince of Tzeentch, a Sorcerer, Tzeentch Sorcerer, and Ahriman there. So 2,000 points, and I will come back and bring you guys post-deployment. So sorry if the lighting's off a little bit. So here we are, post-deployment. So I've deployed in a giant X here, and the reason for that is because I know that those get to redeploy 12 inches from enemy models. So essentially I didn't want Joe to start back here. So I deployed in a way that literally the model could not fit in either of those zones. So they'll end up here somewhere when he redeploys, if he does redeploy. He set up the wraiths here on this flank. Over there is his blob of, shooty dudes with the Cryptek. The Deceiver Shard, so this was the edge of his deployment, is right there, and the Nightbringer Shard is back there. I will choose to... I'll take first. So you can roll to seize if you want to.
I gotta roll 6, correct?
Yes, sir. This is where he rolls the search. 2.
Right.
All right. So you're going to redeploy?
In response, yeah.
Okay. So come back after he's done. Yeah, that did. All right. So Joe's redeployment. He rolled a 1 and CP'd and rolled a 1 again. So it kind of stinks. So he didn't want to basically set a Tesseract Vault up here by itself to give me a clean target. So he went ahead and redeployed the Nightbringer Shard right there. So yeah. So I will go ahead and take my first turn and we will come back. So the end of my, so the demons turn 1, just kind of scooched up, did a bunch of advancing of stuff. I'm still way out of range for psychic powers. This guy is like 25 or 26, 27 inches away from me. So, but I was able to knock down one dude here. He'll have to roll a wheel, be back. And I killed one wraith over there with a mortar. So, and that's it. That was my turn. Yeah. So I do hold 2 objectives, 3 objectives actually. So I will just score 1 for holding, and I definitely will not get a kill 1 this turn. So yeah, we'll move over to Joe's turn. hands. All right, so the end of Necron's turn 1. So he killed a lot of stuff. As you can see, the pile of dead Plaguebearers. And that was about it. He did a wound to that one and a wound to that PBC over there. And yeah, so he just moved up and launched all of his Satan power. So right now it is 3 for him. Sorry, he has 5 because he got 2 Reaper points total. So he's got 5, I've got 1. Change this circle too. But yeah, now I'm actually in range to do something. So we'll see what happens at the end of my turn 2. So the end of Demon's turn 2, I actually did a decent amount of damage. I was able to kill Deceiver and Nightbringer between death hexing them and shooting some stuff at them. I was kind of sad because actually this guy killed the Nightbringer. He was the one that, or he was the one without the invuln. So, which left the other one with nothing to do. Over here, charged into him. He's about to take his Will Be Back rolls over there. And yeah, knocked out over a bunch of guys there. And yeah, that was about it. There wasn't too much to it. I shot a bunch of stuff at the rates and he made a bunch of saves. So, but yeah, we'll see what happens in Necron's turn 2. So the end of the Necrons turn 2. So Joe bounced out his Cryptek with all the warriors there, and they rapid fired into my prince. Made actually a bunch of saves. He had 5 wounds left after all of that was said and done. Then this Tesseract shot into him, did a bunch more wounds. I actually had to use a CP to reroll. So it kept him with 1 wound left. And then he charged into me, and he forgot I had Glamour on him. So, which, that's my fault. The card, I don't have the card for that yet. He used a bunch of Satan powers. Killed this guy with Time's Arrow. Did a mortal wound here. Did a mortal wound here. Did some mortal wounds over there to the PBCs. And I think that was about it. And then he charged into that PBC with a bunch of Wraiths and the Tesseract and put it down to 4 wounds left. So right now the score is Joe has 8 and I only have 5. I've yet to score any secondary points because I can't get to his guy. I haven't even started working on these Tesseract Vaults. So yeah. So wish me luck in round 3. Okay, so the end of the demons turn 3. So I had a fantastic psychic phase. I got off pretty much everything except for that Terminator Sorcerer over there was terrible. He failed his smite and his other spells. So, but I healed the PBC for 1 here. Shot at the Wraiths a little bit, kind of softened them up. That way when I charged in, I actually did kill, well, I killed 1 with smite and then I killed 1 with the Demon Prince and took 1 in return. This guy, between these 2, they were able to kill it, and this is the Skull Reaver. With Death Hex on the Tesseract Vault, I wiped it out, and I got lucky because Joe does not have any CP left, so he wasn't able to reroll the explosion, and it died.
Yeah, I wasn't able to reroll my explosion.
Yeah, couldn't reroll the explosion, so that was gone, which now leaves this side of the board open for me. But Joe still has the other vault. It has taken no wounds, and the 2 Wraiths and these dudes over here. So he's going to do We'll Be Back, and yeah, we'll be back at the end of turn 3. Hey, that was pretty clever. So the end of Necron's turn 3. So Joe moved his Tesseract Vault up on top of there. Big, it's pretty big when you look at the table. Cast all of his powers. He was not able to actually, I think he did like 1 mortal wound to this guy. Because of the powers that were on that guy. He mostly had like the hit a full unit of guys and so on and so forth. Time's Arrow. So he missed Time's Arrow here. He rolled a 1. And yeah, and then he rapid fired all these guys here. So it actually took the warriors to kill him because the Cryptek failed. Cryptek sucks. He hasn't done anything. And then this guy shot all 20 shots into Khorne Prince and left him at 2 wounds left. So, and then over there I was able to kill 1 Wraith and left 1 with 1 wound, but I took 2 damage in return. So,
those are what.
So right now the score is really close. I have 11, so the demons chaos side has 11, and the Necrons have 10. So we'll see what happens at the end of turn 4. Yeah, demon turn 4. So Joe's moving his Tesseract Vault for his final. This will hopefully be his final. Maybe I don't know. We'll see. But so what ended up happening was I was able to kill all the warriors were there. You can move it. The warriors were there. Killed them, and then I actually used the Foul Blightspawn. He was going to flamer the Tesseract Vault to melt the Cryptek. I actually did 5 wounds to it, and I guess it doesn't have an invone, so melted the Cryptek. Over here I smited the very last Wraith, and it was gone. And between a bunch of smites and then these Skull Reaver prints, and I did get a Death Hex off on that, I left it at 4 wounds. Now, Joe's dice abandoned him when I charged him with the Skull Reaver prints. I knew that there was a very good chance he was going to roll a bunch of 6s, right? And every 6 is 3 hits. But out of 20 dice, he rolled 2 6s. He rolled, what was it, 4 wounds. 4 wounds. I failed 2, and then I used a reroll and actually lived with 1 wound. So it was epic. And but now he gets 1 final turn with the Tesseract, and we'll see what ends up happening. So the score right now is, well, I'm pretty high up on the score. So yeah. Joe right now is just trying to see what his vault can do on the final turn. So, yeah, we'll see you guys at the bottom of 4. Hey everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed this video battle report. So I don't actually get to play Necrons very often, mostly because, you know, Necrons, they came out, they didn't really make much of a splash like people had thought they were going to be. They were overpriced as far as points go. And the few guys that did have Necrons in my area just decided to get rid of them, I guess. But they are slowly making a comeback. LVO showcased that. A couple lists kind of made it up the ladder. I think one of them actually broke the top 20. And Joe is actually relatively new to the game. I think this was his 7th or 8th game, according to John. So I want to thank Joe for being gracious to play me. And it was also his first time facing demons, so we kind of didn't really know what to expect from one another. We kind of talked a lot before the beginning of the game. He kind of debriefed me on a lot of what he could do, and then I kind of debriefed him a lot on what I I could do as well. So, going into the game, I felt confident. I knew that Death Hex and the Skull Reaver were going to be key for this game, and they proved to be pretty much true. Because I knew I had that combo, and once Joe positioned the way that he did, it basically gave me an opening to take it. And once I took it, that was it. And we did talk a lot after the game about allocating the power. So, you know, as far as Satan go, you have to allocate every single power once before you can take it again. And that's why actually, usually you'll see them in threes, or you'll see 2 Tesseract Vaults with, you know, 1 Satan. Because not only do you get the redeployment shenanigans, but also then basically you get to take the key powers twice on the Tesseract Vault. So we kind of I talked to Joe about, you know, maybe reallocating the points a little bit. And also somebody else, after I talked to somebody after the game, they informed me that I guess Tesseract Vaults don't get the Dynasty traits. So just so you guys know, if you ever face them, and I did let Joe know after the game, I was like, hey, just so you know, because he is taking this to a GT, and that will definitely come up, so I don't want him to be taken by surprise when somebody's like, oh, you don't get that, calls over a TO, and then Joe goes into a game with a plan and it doesn't work. So and that's a great part about practicing. That's a great part about battle reports, because not only do a lot of the time guys videotaping these battle reports, we learn stuff, but you kind of get to see that on camera, like, oh crap, yo, and you guys are learning from these too. So hopefully me doing these helps some other guys out, and you know, by me doing this, I learn too. It makes me a better player. So win or lose, you always become a better player after every game. But anyway, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle report. Thank you again, Joe, for being in my video. And if you guys like us, please subscribe. If you're feeling generous, visit the Patreon page. If you guys feel like looking at some pictures, check out our Instagram. I usually will post up a Instagram photo before every video, just trying to, you know, give a shout out. And then we also have a Facebook page. So we are thinking of some interesting things to put on the page here, and a few, in later dates. So, for example, we're doing like list reviews for some of you subscribers. So, hey, check it out and subscribe, and maybe you guys can be part of one of my future videos. But anyways, thank you guys again, and see you guys next time.